Hello everyone, welcome to the Northland Artist Conversation. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Mark Kelly. I am your host, your guide in this wonderful journey that we take where we discover the amazing talent that we have throughout Northland in New Zealand, Southern Hemisphere, Earth, third rock from the sun. Don't know why I said that, I've never said it before, but hey, here we are. 2025, this is the second podcast for the year, very, very cool. Christian was our guest for today. I'm actually going to flick over to my camera. Christian was one of those really, really cool guys. I met him at I guess sort of one, you know how between Christmas and New Year's you kind of get together with mates and then you meet new people along the way. I met him 2024 and at a barbecue for a former guest, and we talk about that at the start of the podcast. And I just said right then and there, I was like, hey bro, yeah, can I book you on the podcast? He goes, yeah, sure, sweet as. And it's so cool to have him on. I'm not going to talk too much on this one because I found him to be really interesting as an upcoming artist and someone who does a lot of cool things and has done a lot of cool different things and does a lot of different disciplines. So tell you what, I'm just going to move this along on this one. So let's sit down and have a chat with Christian. Ninja Fury.
Yeah, it's a cool ninja one.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I do it.
Oh, wow.
I do it so it's cheap for me.
Oh, shit, that's really cool. All right, anyhow, Ninja Fury. There we go. Yeah, we don't really... Oh. I know that's what you said, but that is cool. Oh, that is so gross. But in like the best way possible. I'm going to hold that up to my camera.
You can have that one
That's
if you want.
That's a book, dude, really?
Take whatever you want. I'm one of those useless artists who don't have a business sense and just give their things away. When I first met you, you were telling me about it, I was like, oh, damn, that's me. I'm just giving paintings and things away. But I enjoy it. I want you to have it.
This is so cool. Thanks, man.
All
this
good,
is
man.
wicked. What a cool. All right, I'm going to put that down because we'll talk about this. We'll actually talk about that a bit later on. Christian.
Love it.
Welcome to the Northland Artist Conversation 2025.
Thank you. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks for being here, man. I know.
No worries, man.
It's a stinking hot day, and it's humid as all hell. We'll put the fan on if we need to later on as well. I'm sure it'll be a massive help.
Nice.
But yeah, thanks very much for coming in. I do appreciate it. I know, when did we organise this? Was it late last year?
I actually think it might have been like a week before December. A week after December? Something like that.
Was it? Yeah, it's hard to say whether it was... Was it... the week of New Year's?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I knew it was like a time where everyone had off and we were all just around a barbecue.
Yeah, now we met through a former guest, didn't we?
Yeah.
The wonderful Shane Evans and Michelle Watts. Shane being the artist, Michelle being the one that cracks the whip and makes Shane do shit. But yeah, it was a barbecue.
Yeah,
if I remember rightly. Yeah,
he's fantastic. He is.
He's very cool, and he's working on some amazing stuff at the moment. He's finishing up
Chronicles of the Wasteland.
Chronicles of the Wasteland number 4.
Yeah.
I don't think he's too far away from having that completed. I know he was trying to get it in before Sandbox.
Yeah, he's doing really well. We're part of like a Make Comics group that we meet in the library, and
really?
Yeah, that's how I met him actually. So I was just at the library one day.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there in this group drawing comics and stuff, and he's like, "Hey man, do you like comics?" I'm like, "Yeah man, I love comics." He's like, "Do you draw?" I'm like, "Yeah man, I draw."
Yeah.
So then instantly from there we became mates. But we do have like a weird kind of rivalry going on where it's like, and it's the only way I can explain it is like the most healthy rivalry.
Yeah.
Like I look at his stuff and I'm like, damn, that's good.
Yeah.
It's like I got to start doing some stuff. And then I start drawing and putting stuff out. And then he looks at me, he's like, damn, you're hiding comics and stuff around.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm gonna knock out number 3 or number 4.
Yeah.
And then he starts honing it as well. And I love it because it's like, if I do show him something, he's gonna be straight up with me. He's like, that needs work, or this needs to doing something.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully I do the same for him.
Well, it's because he's old and cantankerous. So yeah. That makes lots of sense. You guys also have one other thing in common apart from me and the drawing. You guys also have one other thing in common. Your lovely ladies push the shit out of you, so you can actually be active.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, my missus does do that, actually. She's like...
She does. I remember sitting near her when she was giving you shit about not having the next lot of small comics for her to go and place around fucking A. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on, because I think that's such an amazingly cool initiative. That's absolutely wicked.
Cheers, man.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Like way back. Yeah. We'll get the was it 80 cents 88 gigawatts going.
Yeah, nice.
Up to speed for 88. A kid. Now you okay, so for those of you that are listening, Christian is wearing a Ghostbusters t-shirt.
I am.
And it is sort of one of those retro cool aged looking ones, which is cool.
Yeah.
Have you always been someone that is into illustrating and pop culture and that sort of stuff, or did you come from like a not creative household? What was it like growing up?
Yeah, no, I actually did come from a creative household. My mum was always like painting and drawing and doing like creative stuff with us in the holidays. But I guess I've always like really liked all the nerd culture and all the stuff that was in the zeitgeist at the time. Because when I was having like holidays for like, you know, school and stuff like that, Ghostbusters was on TV because it was from the 80s, but it was being rerun all the time.
Oh, wow. Okay, so does that make you a 90s child or a 2000s
child?
child?
I'm a 90s child, yeah.
Okay, cool. Right.
But I just look super old.
Well, you don't, number one. You haven't got the grey in the beard.
Oh, yeah. Good one. So
you're definitely still young, and young at heart.
Cheers, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so were you creative as a kid?
Yeah, I was. I really tried to avoid books, and I tried to avoid the whole like going and learning stuff from school.
Damn fucking school.
Yeah, like what my mum says is, you just weren't reading ready. You weren't reading ready, all right.
Okay.
But I hated it, and I was not good at reading, and it wasn't. I like drawing, and I like playing on the playground and all that sort of stuff. And it wasn't until my mum was like, "Oh, look, I got you this book," and I was like, "Oh god." You know, it was a 6-year-old, 7-year-old me, or whatever. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to read a book. But it was an Iron Man comic.
Okay. So it wasn't a book.
No, it wasn't a book.
It was an actual comic. Wow.
And that she tricked me.
How dare she?
She tricked me.
But for the right reasons, yeah?
Yeah, totally. No.
Gotta love Mum.
Oh, yeah, Mum's great about it. Yeah, so she was the one who got me into comics. And
wow.
Yeah, dude, I loved it. And it was in this weird point in time where like Marvel Comics had gone out of business, so they were just everywhere.
Had they actually gone out of business?
Well, they'd gone bankrupt or something, so they were selling comics to everyone and anyone who would have them. Yeah. So like even in the
dark days.
Yeah, even in like the Chinese like $2 general stores, like they had the Spider-Man comics. So I was like,
wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
Far out. Okay, so school age Christian, not really interested in school per se.
Yeah.
So reading wasn't your thing. Maths, were you academic at all, or did you always have a naturally creative streak?
Mostly naturally creative, but I mean, I didn't do badly at maths. I did pass math, and I did pass NCA and all those things.
Okay, yeah.
So I did. I guess I put myself together and do that sort of stuff, but I always just gravitated to art, I think it was, and I don't know. Yeah.
Did you end up doing I can only reference myself and speak from sort of my experiences. I know, like in primary school, we didn't really have art. You know, you might do dicking around a little bit of drawing, but there was always the focus on the fundamentals, right?
Yeah.
Then you get to intermediate and you go, do you want to do art? Well, for me, it was like you have these 4
like block courses kind of thing.
Like woodwork, metalwork, sewing, and cooking.
Yes, dude, we had that as well. I loved all that too. Like, I think I just liked the applied stuff. Like,
the tactile, hands-on things. Yeah, like doing shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, doing shit. I think that earlier on me was not into just sitting there and absorbing stuff through a book. I think that's not the way I learned.
Yeah,
but
I think there's a lot of people out there that are really kinesthetic learners. They learn by doing.
Yeah,
and
totally.
Putting pen to paper and working out a quadratic equation is.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't really use a lot of physics in my day-to-day life.
No, I learned it to get through, and then I was feeling,
if someone could have taught me money management,
yeah,
I would have been a lot happier.
Yeah, that would have
Still
been good.
Broke, but money management. Okay, so you now. So that was kind of the thing through, I guess, primary school and intermediate, yeah?
Yeah, primary school, intermediate, yeah.
Now, you get to high school and you actually have the choices to be able to take art. Do you pursue art at this point? Or is it still like, no, you need to focus on the fundamentals?
No, I chose art. No, because we did the 4 block courses, and in the first year of high school, we had like sort of like 6 months, you try this thing, 6 months, you try this other thing. And my art teacher at the time was a lady called Mrs. Gray, and
from what?
I came from Dargaville, Dargaville High School.
Dargaville,
yeah.
Wow, crazy, man! And you're still there?
No, I live in Whangarei.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry, I moved over. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So Dargaville, Mrs. Gray, shout out.
Yeah, she was great.
In high school, if you're still there.
Oh no, I think she lives in Wellington or something like that.
Oh wow.
But,
okay.
She was like this like weird punk artist from like like had all these weird clothes, would wear checkers at everything, and like she'd always like challenge you, and she'd be like, "What's this? This looks like dog poo." Like,
you can swear.
Oh, okay, sweet dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, this looks like dog shit. Yeah. And I was like, why are you drawing this? It's supposed to be a rock. And then it's like, that would sort of like be like, oh shit, you know what? She's right about that.
Yeah.
And she'd always push me to do like art history, even though I didn't do it. But she was great. She always was pushing the envelope and saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. And she was always pushing me to think in a different way as well. And that's what I really liked. I really liked her. Because it was, later on in art, it's always about like the creative idea for me. That's how like the initial inception of it works.
So what were you sort of referencing? What were you drawn to at that stage? Were you like, because I mean, when I can't draw to save myself. If someone was to ask me to draw the kit from Knight Rider, side on, I could still fucking bang out a kit like no one's business. Yeah, dude. 30 years later. But I can't draw to save myself. But what were you sort of grabbing inspiration from at that time?
So like because I was a 90s kid, there was like this big surge of like Dragon Ball Z that everyone loved. So
you were then?
Yeah. I love Dragon Ball Z.
Pokemon. Digio?
Digimon. Yeah. That was cool.
Wow.
So I was drawing heaps of Dragon Ball Z, and I think that's where like all the anatomy stuff came into it.
Yeah.
And then when like that died off, that's when like the comic thing came back in for me. I don't know how.
Wait, so you found comics early on, and then they kind of fell out of favor.
Yep.
For TV shows.
Yeah.
Because I mean, let's face it. After school, you run home. It's either Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon, Digital Monsters, or any of that sort of stuff. Now, to be fair, I was also the same growing up, except I had, on Saturday, I had Thundercats.
Thundercats is cool.
I had He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yeah, man.
Then I also had Captain Planet.
Dude, he was cool as well, yeah.
Did you know that, so the podcast that we do, everything kind of falls under the umbrella of a company that we have called 5 Elements Media.
Oh, dude.
That's where the name comes from.
Wow.
Yeah, seriously. Wow. Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart. Go Planet.
That's so cool. Yeah, man. I loved Captain Planet as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
The weird thing about it is that the same guys who worked on Captain Planet worked on like the Magic School Bus.
Yeah.
And then like the kids are the Planeteers kind of thing.
Yeah.
So weird.
There's so many weird connected references there. It's so cool. So in high school, with you sort of focusing more on was it anime?
I wasn't super into anime, but it was just Dragon Ball Z. I just loved it.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was just like the time, and then as soon as that sort of petered off, I was like, oh, what else is there?
Yeah.
And everything else anime to me seemed a little bit like, oh, they're trying to copy Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know why, because that's kind of a reductive view. But like, I mean, you're a kid, you don't really know. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. And it's not like you're meant to know any better.
yeah.
You look at it and go, it's all off Dragon Ball Z, man.
Yeah.
How dare they? It's just nah. So what did you move on to?
From then, I moved on to because comics are not a super big thing in New Zealand. I started going on Trade Me and like buying like Green Lantern comics and
Oh wow!
yeah,
Green Lantern.
yeah, straight to like something completely different. And it's like the whole power of like creating anything
Yeah.
from your imagination with this like magic ring was just like, oh whoa, dude, the art in this is cool as hell. There would be villains that would like mess with his psyche, and then the ring would, because the ring creates things from his imagination, would turn into these different illustrations all around the page.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And then that was just like creative spark for me. I was like, oh man, so like illustration doesn't just have to be in a box. It doesn't have to be in the center of the page. Like it can be everywhere and everything.
Yeah, and it can like bleed over in panels as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you moving away and into sort of discovering your own style and voice, or are you still very emulate?
Yeah, that's actually a really good one. I think it's both of those things. I think that like as an artist, you have to take and steal a little bit like a pirate. Like you look at something and you do emulate it until you're good at that thing.
Yeah.
Or you do take elements from those things and you incorporate it into your own style, or however you want to describe it.
I read a really interesting quote today, and it's if you copy one person, it's theft. If you copy multiple people, it's research.
Exactly. Yeah, that's totally it. That's totally it. And I think that eventually you just get a style. Like you eventually just, and I mean, I'm probably there already, because I mean, usually when I do draw something, they're like, oh, that totally looks like something you've drawn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
what would you say your sort of style is? Well, not now, but was sort of around
that time kind of thing.
Yeah, and around like school leaving time as well.
School leaving, that's yeah. So I had moved on from Dragon Ball Z, the Triangle Eyes and stuff like that.
Okay.
And then I'd gone more into like all anatomy. I'd gone hard into because from Green Lantern and having like these different like different panels, all those different things. I was like, oh dude, who else? And then I looked at Frank Frazetta, and Frank Frazetta's huge, and for like Conan and everything else, and now, Fire and Ice, and
it's Shane that likes Conan as well, eh?
Shane loves Conan.
That's it. I couldn't remember if it was Shane or Rico.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy, man. Okay, so are you looking at the Conan comics, or are you watching the movies? Are you referencing both? Kind of where does that sort of take you?
That's probably a little bit of the movie and just like internet research.
Right.
So I didn't go hard into the comics and stuff like that. I didn't really go. But then around that time, sort of as I was leaving school, that's when books came into view for me. For some reason, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna
like books.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So then I picked them up, and then I started reading, and I think for me it was a choice of like, I want to read this thing for me. Okay.
Yeah. You were kind of ready in yourself.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I was probably not too dissimilar. I really couldn't stand books when I was a kid, and I discovered Foot Rock Flats, Garfield, Tintin, Asterix, Peanuts, Garfield, all of those, and then I got to high school, and then I sort of started reading, but it was later on in high school, and then I discovered Stephen King and Dean Koontz, and
Fantastic.
I enjoyed having the shit scared out of me while reading a book, because there's nothing better than reading a book at like, you start like you'd hop into bed, and it'd be like maybe like 9 o'clock at night, and you go, I read a couple of chapters, and you get down, you get settled and excited. and you go, oh, that's quite cool. And then the monster emerged with its long tentacles, and your brain, and then you suddenly go, fuck, it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm imagining this monster thing with tentacles that's being so incredibly well written.
That is totally it. And I think that it's also like, because a book is unique, where it's like you're doing half of the work.
Half of the heavy lifting is being done by the old brain.
Yeah, so sometimes when I've listened to an audiobook or whatever, and it's a book that I've already read, I'm like, oh, I don't like the voices they put on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And my partner goes, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh, yeah, I imagine those ones.
Yeah. I heard them so differently in my head.
Exactly,
it's
yeah.
an actor just pretending. And then you go, yeah, but wait.
Yeah. Stephen Fry did a great job of the whole Harry Potter thing that way. And
he did.
Yeah, that was a sort of a late adopter for me as well. Like, I liked the movies growing up.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But I didn't read any of the books, really. I think I read the first one or something like that.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, later on in life, when audiobooks came in, because, I read an audiobook and didn't do all the things.
Yeah, why not?
I listened to that and I was like, whoa, this is so good. Yeah.
I remember one of the guys at work, he would take my car to go see customers, and I'd go to hop into his car and it would still be connected to his phone, and I would hear Stephen Fry talking about Ms. McGonagall and stuff like that,
right.
and I'd get back, I'd be like, the fuck, and then it would get die as it would get out of range.
Yeah.
And then I'd get back, and so I was like, bro, Mrs. McGonagall was lit. She was mad crazy. And he'd be like, he'd laugh and it'll be funny as. But yeah, audiobooks are so incredibly powerful, and I think like underutilized as well.
Yeah, I think they are. I think that Audible's getting really a big popularity, and then I think Spotify give you like a certain amount of hours every month now.
Oh wow!
So for audiobooks, if anyone wants to get into them.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're actually set up to record audiobooks.
That's so awesome, man. That's really cool.
In the studio, we meet all of the Audible standards that they require for audiobooks. So that's actually something that we would like to do with all authors throughout Northland, to say, hey, look, if you want to do an audiobook, we can actually, do it here because we meet all the standards that they require.
I'm sorry, I'm going to need your sleep out for 20 hours.
Yeah, it takes a long time. Well, you split it over a couple of days, but
yeah, I get you.
That
is cool though, and I think that's a great opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, couldn't agree more. Okay, so you've left school.
Yeah, sorry, I wandered us off.
Yeah, we'll just digress. I'll bring us back in. What did you go on to do further study, or did you just go, I've got to get a job, and then I enjoy money, I don't want to study anymore? How did it play out?
I didn't know what the hell I wanted to do. My dad said, "Oh, you should go and get a trade, mate." And I said, "Oh, okay, I'll give it a go." So I did. Yeah. I did a little bit of building. I did a building course. And,
wow!
I worked for Habitat for Humanity, where we sort of.
It's upcycling, eh?
Well, it was, back then it was like we were building houses for like the needy.
Oh, right.
And as I was building this house, I was like, isn't everyone needy? Isn't houses like super expensive?
Yeah, sure, everyone needs a house.
Yeah, everyone needs one.
We should always have work.
Yeah. So I did that for a little while, and then after that, I was like, oh, you know what? I've built a house. It wasn't for me. And, I mean, it was enjoyable, and I had a good group of guys doing it. But art was always in the back of my head, and I was like, you should do this thing again. And I was like, oh, okay, well, sweet. And then from doing a first year of building study, I went to North Tech in Whangarei. Wow. Okay. So, but then at the same time, I had sort of gotten a job, so I was moving sort of backwards and forwards. So I was living in Dargaville, working in Dargaville, studying in Whangarei, and I was moving backwards and forwards.
Oh wow, that's a hell of a.
Yeah, that was a bit of a little bit annoying.
Yeah, well, because you'd be, money would come in, money would go out for petrol.
Yeah.
And then study.
Yeah. So at that time, I actually used the bus a lot, and
I didn't even realise there was a bus going to Dargaville.
Yeah, well, there was only one.
Okay. So for you, what were you? So when you had your trade, you were doing the building, you finished up with that. What was the job you were doing, and what were you studying?
Oh, what was the job I was doing? I was working at a petrol station, and I was studying a Bachelor of Visual Arts at the time.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
the BP, the Caltex, or the Mobil.
Oh, Doug. I was at the BP.
Okay, yeah, that's just down the road from the Countdown.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was pretty good because, I only worked the weekends, but I worked the weekends and whatever other days they wanted me to work.
Yeah,
and then I just stayed during the week, and it was good. So it was a bit of money. Go and study. Bit of money, study. Bit of money, study, and it worked out well. Yeah.
Northland Artists Conversation is proud to support 116. 116 are located on Bank Street in Whangarei, and an amazing venue that you can actually hire. If you're looking to hold an event or looking to hire a venue for a special occasion, 116 on Bank Street are an absolutely fantastic place. You can simply contact them via email off their website or through Facebook as well. 116 have had such amazing events in the past as the Whangarei Fringe Festival, and they've also held the Plunge Pop Culture Convention there as well. They also have local artists that also put performances on, as well as incoming artists that come into the region as well and want to be able to do things like have plays or perform music or any of those sorts of cool things. 116 are also home to the amazing Beagle radio station as well, which is a local initiative that is all set up with some very, very talented people that actually love what they do, and they do it all for free. So it's very, very cool. So 116 on Bank Street, proudly supported by the Northland Artists Conversation. Bachelor of Fine Arts. Now, what year was this?
I don't think...
Was it Fine Arts?
Bachelor of Arts? Bachelor of Visual Arts, yeah.
Bachelor of Visual Arts.
Which I guess is Fine Arts, because we did painting and we did printmaking and all that stuff.
But what year is this?
Oh man, don't know.
Because we're in the early 2000s. Are we in the early 2000s or late 90s at this point?
Oh, at this point,
we're in the 2010s.
We're in the 2010s. Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's like 2010 exactly.
Oh shit.
Or 2011.
Okay. Yeah. Right. Wow.
Yes, that's it. That's right. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, visual arts. What were the kind of the takeaways from you out of doing that as a course?
That really sort of opened me up, because I think that I went in there and I was like, I'm going to be a comic book artist, and
right.
I think that the rest of the teachers were like,
no, you're not.
Yeah, you're not doing that. You need to start doing these other things.
Yeah.
And we did have like an option to take to do different things.
Okay.
Like there was photography, there was ceramics, and all these other things.
Yeah.
And to my mind, I was like, no, I don't want to do any of these things. I'm a comic book artist, and
I'm a purist.
Yeah, they actually they broke me. Nah,
no.
Nah.
Are we talking like waterboarding, Guantanamo Bay?
It was exact.
Yeah, that's it.
You'll never be good at this, Chris. You'll never be good.
Water, that's it. You suck.
Yeah. No, they did a great job,
because Northtech closed the course down.
Yes, that was it. I came out
last student to be waterboarded.
That was no, they did actually open my eyes up. They did sort of, say, oh, you should do something else, and you should look at other things. And eventually they did sink in. It probably didn't sink in as fast as they wanted it to.
Right. Okay.
But then I just explored everything, and I loved printmaking. I loved doing woodcuts. I loved doing screen printing. I love doing lino cuts and etchings and all these different things. I love them because you could just do whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
And then I got into ceramics and stuff like that, and I was always trying to do these like tiny fiddly little things. I was trying to do like little busts of things and weird little pots and stuff like that. And one of my tutors, it seems really harsh, this story, because he picked up this thing I was making, threw it on the floor, and he's like, Chris, you'll never be good at that. And I was like, and he's like, dude, you're working really hard at something, and it's not going your way, and I can see you getting frustrated with it. And it's like, what you need to do is just explore something else. And it was like, and
holy shit, that's ruthless.
It was ruthless, but I mean, it did get through to me in a different way as well. And I think that when you are stuck in your tunnel, you probably do need something to snap you out of it. And like, yeah, at the time I was probably like, he's mean and he did something nasty.
Yeah, but it's not like, okay, all right. So I'm just gonna sort of go on a statement that you just said. You were stuck in a tunnel.
Yeah, I think so.
But you weren't. You were exploring other things.
I think that
it's not like even spending time on that little fiddly thing. It's not like you'd been spending time on it for years and someone had just gone, fuck it. You had been spending time because you were trying to broaden your...
Well, I think from his perspective, it's like, this is the third fiddly little thing that he's tried to do.
Right, okay.
And like... Because I mean, out of context, it does sound bad. But
it sounds horrific.
Sounds horrific. No,
it sounds like the guy from Whiplash.
Yeah. No, he was like, you need to do something different, and you need to look at things in a different way. He's like, maybe look at some abstract stuff, and I was like, no, I hate abstract. This circle means nothing to me.
Yeah, it's a fucking red dot on a page. What the hell was Jackson Pollock thinking?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But he got me into something different, and I did really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And even though I'm not an abstract artist, I did venture back to fiddly little things. But I enjoyed it, and it's the whole exploration. It's an adventure of exploration that really got me into everything. And, and I guess that's why I don't do one single thing now. Like I do bookmarks.
So we've got some stuff here. It's probably a great time to sort of segue into this.
Yeah.
Now, you know, you do a wide range of things, right? You know, we've got some small comics here.
Yeah.
I'll hold up to my camera, which is that one.
Yeah, awesome.
That camera. And on the back is Menace Comics. I'm guessing that's
me, yeah.
But then you've brought in some of these really fascinating bookmarks. You've got The Whale. I'll throw that up in my one. And as you said, sort of before we started rolling, when you pop it in, it looks like the whale is breaching the book.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know if it's anything like a regular brain would think of, because that's pretty cool. You could also have you know what would be cool?
Yeah, tell me. I'm going to make it now.
Is a great white coming up and just having a seal at the top part.
That's awesome. And then when you open it, you see the great white.
Absolutely.
Dude, I'm doing it.
That's wicked. Yeah, that's so cool. But then you've got these sort of more traditional bookmarks that you've got. You've got a frog.
Yeah, gentleman frog.
Le gentleman.
Yeah.
You've got the...
a weird kind of anglerfish.
Now that's the one from Finding Nemo. I think probably most people get that reference. For those of you that are listening, I'm holding up a bookmark, and it's the weird fish with the light dribbling over the top of its head in Finding Nemo. If you've seen that film, you'll get the reference. But then we've got the Queen.
Yeah, sort of like a playing card type thing.
Yeah, very very much got a playing card type feel to it. You know, it's a Queen's head on blue on one side and kind of red on the other, which is just really different. And then there's the moray eel with the anchor and the seaweed. Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt really arty at that time, and I just thought, nautical stuff.
Yeah. Well, it does come across as nautical. A lot of green.
Yeah.
That's quite cool. And then we've got the jellyfish again. Finding Nemo.
Yeah, Finding Nemo. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Something must have been going on.
Yeah. Whatever it was, it's probably really fishy. Dad jokes. But do I want to hit the comic now, or do I want to leave it for a bit? I'm going to leave it for a bit.
Sweet.
So you finish your, was it diploma?
No, I got a degree, yeah.
An actual degree?
Yeah, degree.
Like 3 years?
Yep, did 3 years. Did all the essays and everything else.
Oh, the thesis?
I don't think I had to do a thesis.
Oh, thank God.
Maybe I did. I can't remember.
Yeah.
At one point, it was like, we have to do an essay every week. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I just want to draw.
Yeah.
Can I draw my essay?
Yeah. I mean, but at that time, like, again, see, these weird things kick off for me where it's like, you're forced to do this thing. Get out of your comfort zone and think about something in a different way. That's when I was like, oh, you know what? You're terrible at grammar.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, oh, okay. So then I
If only you had Grammarly. Today's sponsor. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly, yeah. No, but like it forced me to like go, oh shit, well, if I have to do an artist statement or something like that,
Yeah,
I need to have it like, at least clear.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, so then I got into a little bit like that, and that's sort of moved into like little bits of writing short stories and writing things like that.
Wow.
So yeah, I do a whole host of different things. Unfortunately, a lot of them are for myself, but
Right, okay.
So,
So you get your degree.
Yeah.
Are you still working at the BP at this stage, or have you like made the transition over to Whangas?
no, I as soon as I didn't even think I'd finished the degree. I think I was like a few weeks off of graduation or something.
Yeah.
I got a job at Countdown.
In Dargaville?
Yeah, in Dargaville.
Oh, wow.
And I also was still working at the petrol station. And I had 2
shit.
jobs. And then I worked there for 7 years. And I was doing art on the side.
Far out.
Yeah, and I did a few like little illustrators exhibitions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
So for you, art was kind of always in the background no matter what. Like whether you were working, studying, both,
Yeah.
multiple jobs, art was kind of always there, yeah?
yeah, art has always been there. I think it's something that I enjoy personally.
Yeah.
Being at home and doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that, yes, I did want to do an art job, and I did initially look for like graphic design jobs or something like that.
Yeah.
But then I thought, oh man, this is going to it might ruin it for me.
Yeah.
It might ruin it. It could crush it out, and then I wouldn't be doing it myself.
Yeah, and it's tough because like you get into that position where you're like, man, I love this and I love what I do, and then you move into the corporate stuff and you're like, it's just churning out the same formulaic shit all the time, and then the passion dies.
Yeah, that's what I really didn't want to happen.
Yeah, and that it's tough, right? I mean, I was kind of similar. I was brought up with do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life
Yeah.
type motto. But then I've been fortunate enough to do things that I'm just incredibly passionate about, but it ends up becoming a second job.
True. Exactly. Yeah.
And that's where it gets hard because, like everything, you have moments where you're like, this is amazing. I'm living my best life. And then you're like, I am creatively unfulfilled.
Yeah, there's like weird triggers around that
Yeah.
for me where it's like, once I get an idea, like if I get an idea for a comic or if I
Yeah.
get an idea for a thing, I've got to pounce on it, because if I don't pounce on it,
Yeah.
then it does become a job for me.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like, I had a really great idea for a novel, and then I didn't realize how long it takes to make a novel.
Yeah.
And then I internalized it, and then I wasn't doing any art, I wasn't doing any drawings. I was writing this terrible book. And my partners have said to me, like you said, like she's fantastic.
She is an ass kicker, man.
Yeah, she kicked my ass, and she said, "Hey, look, just throw that thing away and start doing some bite-sized stuff."
Isn't that what your teacher did?
Yeah, and yeah, I guess she did.
Crazy,
yeah.
eh?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
he did as well. Yeah,
Yeah, like you become hyper-focused on something,
that
and
is
it's
weird.
not quite going the way you want. She said, fuck it, go back to what you love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Had you thought of that before?
I hadn't thought of that before. And you know what? I'm learning all sorts of things about myself.
It's crazy,
yeah.
eh?
No, dude, seriously, yeah.
I mean, that's so cool. So, Countdown for 7 years.
I think it was 7 years, yeah.
When did you finish up with them?
Probably 4 years ago, yeah. 4 or 5 years ago.
Pre or post pandemic?
Yeah, this is weird. So
Yeah, timelines just get so muddy.
we're in a different timeline now.
I know. Yeah, we survived a great pandemic.
Yeah, well, it was right in the... I had my first kid. Oh, I had my only kid.
Right.
I had my kid,
That you're aware of.
that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
I had my daughter in right in COVID, and I was
Oh, God.
right in COVID, and
The
like
first or second lockdown?
the first one, everyone's panicking.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And like we had her, and they threw me out of the hospital, but like they were all set up to have casualties and stuff. So I'm wandering around this hospital, and there's no one telling me how to get out, and I'm in the middle of Auckland because my partner's from Auckland.
Yeah.
And like the nurse is like, you go down there, and then I end up in this theater, and they're like, okay, doctor, you're gonna have to do surgery, and I'm like, what? And they're like,
how the hell have I ended up here?
yeah, and they're like, are you going to scrub in? And I was like, I don't think that I'm in the right place.
Not entirely sure I'm your guy.
Yeah. I don't even know how I really don't know how they thought I was a doctor, because I had a big giant beard because we're in the lockdown thing, right? I had giant beard, and scraggly hair.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, doctor, you've got to do knee surgery. It's like, oh.
What?
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. And then as soon as they found out I wasn't a doctor, they was like, get out of the hospital. How did you get in here? Never come back.
I just came here to cut my son's umbilical cord, but I'll fucking do a knee surgery.
Exactly, yeah.
What's the worst that can go wrong? It's got to be similar, right? There's a cut. We do shit. I say stitch it up, and then Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, so.
Oh, wow.
That was weird. But, yeah, so anyway, we did all the whole lockdown stuff, and then going back to Countdown, because I had like a little bit of time off because I got trapped in Auckland. When we had this.
Oh shit! Yes.
Yeah, I got trapped there.
Yeah.
And then when I got back to work in Dargaville at Double Counter, I was like, oh, everyone was mad. Everyone was attacking each other for toilet paper and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember those times, man. They were dark.
They were really dark, and yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I just hated it. I ended up hating the job, and also I think once you've done something for 7 years, it's time for change.
Yeah, it's like, had a good run.
Yeah,
I'm out.
So then me and my partner moved to Whangarei.
Okay,
she's a teacher, and I do joinery now. So it's completely different.
Wow,
yeah, completely different.
Joinery.
Yeah, like windows and doors and.
Who with?
Elite Windows. Yeah, Whangarei.
That's classic. We'll talk about this after the podcast.
Yeah, no worries.
That's crazy, man. Wow. You ended up in a fucking trade.
I did, yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was weird, eh? Like a whole full circle.
But everything, it's like, Dad says, go do a trade. And then you go, I'll do a trade. Don't enjoy it that much. Fuck it, I'll do something else.
Yeah.
Come back, do a trade. Go to college. Go to design school. That fucking bit of art's not working out for you.
Yeah.
Scrap it. Come back, and then your partner goes, that bit of art's not working out for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Come back. That's 2 separate instances, man.
That is 2 separate instances.
That's crazy.
It is a bit weird, isn't it? I haven't actually thought about that.
Like, this is all stuff that relates to earlier in life, and you've just kind of ended up here anyway.
Yeah. Maybe that's fate. Maybe things just
serendipity. I don't know. Well, maybe the thing is where you went at the time wasn't right.
Could be.
And maybe it's where you were meant to end up, but not until you'd kind of had a bit of lived life experience.
That could totally be true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Weird.
On today's Revelations podcast.
Oh my God, I'm learning so much about myself.
Okay, so well, that where you are now kind of segues into this. I'm going to hold them up to my camera.
Yeah,
these are small comics. Now they're
open up.
6-page things. 1, 2, 3, 4,
6 page.
6-page little comics, and you've brought 2 in with you today. So we've got.
That's it. Oh, is it? Only 2.
Yeah, only two. We've got
there's another one under there.
Stupid Cupid and Ninja Fury.
And then there's Do You Take Milk?
Oh, and then Do You Take... That's hilarious. Do You Take Milk with your logo on the milk carton?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know what a milk carton is, it was... milk used to be bought to us in glass bottles, and then glass became too expensive, so they started using essentially like plastic-lined cardboard.
Yeah.
So, wow, okay. Now, what is the impetus behind the small comics? Because they are really tiny. They're like an A4, A5, A6, maybe an A7?
Something like that. I think it was one A4 page makes one comic.
Oh, when you fold it all out?
When you fold it out, yeah.
Right, I'm going to currently, for those of you watching, I'm going to unfold the comic. For those of you listening, that's the sound of paper being unfolded.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So it gets halved. Oh, shit balls.
That's it. Perfect. Done.
And then quartered. So that's A6.
A6.
So what inspired these? Because they're their own little... They're a micro comic, right?
They are a microcomic, yeah.
Yeah. What inspired you to do these? Because, I mean, these are cool. These are so great. You know, they're things that you kind of just hand out and be like, oh, what do you do? Check it out.
Yep, that's exactly
You know,
right.
It's black and white. It's on an A4 bit of paper. Maybe 8 cents to print. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it is 10 cents or something.
Okay.
So I think doing 100 of them was like $15. Something like that. 20 cents or something. Don't know.
15 cents.
15 cents, yeah.
Okay. That's great. What inspired you to do these, and what's the goal of them?
What's the goal of them?
Yeah.
The goal is just to get people to read comics and get people to enjoy stuff. I know that sounds really silly and like wishy-washy, but I am doing it for me, and it's all experience to do a bigger comic.
Yeah.
And I did do a bigger comic in lockdown, the second lockdown. I did a bigger comic, and it was all medieval, and it was all high fantasy and all this other stuff.
Wow.
And I did the whole thing. I think it was like 24 pages or something like that.
Oh, that's a real comic.
Yeah, I did a real comic, digitally colored it, and then I was like, this is terrible. And it was because about halfway through, I was just trying to crank it out, and then...
Had you transitioned from it being passion to work?
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
So like...
halfway through too.
Yeah, so this trains me for being better at... I guess it's endurance training.
Okay, that makes sense.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah. The marathon, not the sprint.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you? So you do these up? They're little micro comics. They got their own little mini stories. Okay. Well, I'm holding 3 of them. What do you actually do with them?
I hide them around all of Whangarei. So you'll find them taped to power poles. You find them inside library books, and you find them on bus shelters. You find them everywhere. Should find them everywhere. Should do.
That's hilarious.
Yep.
Just because it's the best way to get your name out there?
Mainly just because I like I said, I do... Oh, sorry about that. Like I said...
That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. It is about the idea as well. So it's like I had this weird idea of like, geocaching? Where you find stuff?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're just sitting there, and then you see something... Oh, what the hell is that thing? And then you pull it off. That's a little bit of like entertainment for the day or whatever. Oh, hey, I found this thing. What the hell's this? And then there's an Instagram thing on the back, so you can follow me if you want to. You don't have to.
It almost reminds me of the rock hiding that used to be a thing pre-COVID.
Yeah. Like
kids would grab rocks and they'd take them home and paint them, and then they'd go hide them, and then other kids would find them as well.
Yeah. What are they called? I do know what you mean. Yeah.
I know there's actually a thing for it. My son was all about it. He was like, "Dad, I want to go rock hunting," and I was like, "Oh."
But yeah, it's like
we wander around the backyard. There's a rock. Oh, it's not the same. Why? Well, these ones are painted. Oh, okay, fine.
I guess it's like everyday enjoyment. Like if you find one. The idea also came from. I do really like books now. I do really like novels and stuff, and I'll pick up a lot of them from op shops. And
nice.
9 times out of 10, when you're looking through one, you find something weird. You find something weird in op shop books,
like a random bookmark.
And I guess that's another reason why I did start doing bookmarks as well.
Yeah.
That was mainly because I had 5 books on the go, and I had I needed to have the bookmarks.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's these weird elements, and there was one time I picked up a Bear Grylls book, and it had all these different post-it notes in it, and it was obviously someone had given this motivational book to someone that they loved. Written all these notes in it. That person either read the book or didn't read it, and then it's in the op shop now, and I'm reading the third-person conversation of these 2 people.
And then trying to work out the context of it as well.
Exactly.
It's like this, but when they go, this part really spoke to me. It's like, okay, but why?
Yeah, and then
I don't know the nature of the relationship.
Do you remember that time in Fiji?
Yeah, it's like, really? Yeah. Remember that night in Thailand and those ping pong balls? You're like, I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's so crazy, man.
Yeah. So you go.
So are you starting these up again?
Oh, I do them all the time. So, I plan to do one every month.
Wow.
They only take 2 days to do.
Yeah.
But that's 2 days of time you have to cut out of your day, cut out of your life.
True. Yeah.
When you have a kid, when you go 43-hour work,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So are you going to... So it's 2025.
Yep.
We had one guest last year that I inspired to get out and enter an art competition, which they're going to do. I was so stoked to hear that.
Nice.
Are you going to be doing a exhibition?
I don't know if I want to do an exhibition, but I do like the idea of doing a market or something like that. And if I do comics that are slightly bigger, not these ones, because I like to give these ones away.
Yep.
So if I've got a market store, hey, you can take some of these comics.
Yeah, definitely.
But if I do a slightly bigger one, A5, that's like coloured or something, still fairly cheap to print.
I challenge you to do that at some point this year, whether it be now or at the end of the year.
I totally should, yeah.
I'll come and support that, because I think that's really fucking cool, man.
Thanks, man, yeah.
Christian, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This
cheers.
is just super cool, man. So much fun. I've had a blast. It's been an hour.
Oh, has it? Well, dude, I was like, waiting for more stuff. And I guess before I go, I should say that I do a little bit of everything. So I also do the op shop thing, where like you get an old op shop painting and you paint stuff into it. Scooby-Doo's in there and everything else.
Oh, that's so cool.
I just try and do everything. And do D&D, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, hey man, plug away.
Do all the things.
Social media is Instagram, men_ace comics.
Yeah.
Or Menace Comics. But yeah, thanks for coming over. I really
Cheers,
appreciate
dude.
it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Very cool.
Yeah.
There you go, everyone. That was our latest guest, Christian. Editor Lee J, hi, how are you?
I don't really like that question. Nah,
What do you mean you don't like that question? I said, hi, how are you?
Yeah, and I just don't like that question because I use that question all day, every day. So
Right, okay. Let's reframe the question, shall we?
Yep.
Hi, Editor Lee J. What's going on in your life at the moment?
Heaps of shit.
All right, then.
But it's good shit.
Good?
Yeah.
Yeah? All real super positive stuff?
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. I'm so glad, man.
About
That's
time.
really, really good.
About time.
About damn time indeed. What did you think of Christian?
I thought he was cool. Yeah, he was really good vibe.
Yeah, nice guy, eh?
Yeah, and he seems like really creative, which is cool. Like,
what was the one thing out of the podcast that you sort of liked the most?
I could really relate to his feedback from his teachers. Felt like that was me that was talking about that.
Did you and him do, not at the same time, but did you do like similar courses?
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. Because you do the degree or diploma? Degree as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So I felt that in my soul when he was talking about that.
I felt it deep in my bones. Yeah. No. I think the part I liked most about Christian's conversation was kind of as a whole. He talked about school and still doing art, and then work but still doing art, and then study and then work but still doing art as well.
Yeah.
It's just been such a constant for him. And when we talk with so many different people, and some people, they do it, then leave it for like years or decades, and then come back to it a bit later. Or you get people that just kind of carried on all the way through. It's just interesting to hear so many different perspectives. You know what I mean? And for me, that was probably the coolest thing. Is like art's been, I guess, the one stable. I tell you what, the other thing is him having those realizations. About like, oh my God, with his dad and with his tutor in relation to his partner and his job. I was like, that was crazy.
He's probably never had it put into perspective.
He'll probably go home and be like, oh my God, honey, I had a mind-blowing moment at the podcast. What the hell? So yeah, that's cool. So where can you, our audience, find out more about us? Well, you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube for the visuals, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube podcasts as well. Again, this is all Northland Artist Conversation. Nice, super simple, super easy. We keep it short and sweet. That's how it's meant to be. Just go into Google, type Northland Artist Conversation, one word, or separate it out, and you'll come up with a way that you can check out who we are, what we do, the different sort of podcasts that are available. And if you would like to be on the podcast, or if you would like to come back and join us and sit down, that'd be great. Or if you know someone that would be really, really interesting to sit down and have a chat with, we'd love to hear from you. Our email address is hello@northandartistconversation.co.nz. As I speak, the words will be sort of around my around the microphone area. So check us out. That'll be cool. I'm going to switch back to the wide camera. We are doing this in the middle. It's the day before Valentine's Day, and that's going to date this podcast. Day before Valentine's Day 2025, and I can promise you it is disgustingly hot and incredibly humid. I thought Auckland was bad when I lived there for, on and off for 10 years, but my God, you'll never get used to the stupidity, humidity up here. It's going to be a big year, 2025. I know I said that last year, but we've got even more stuff in the pipeline, so super looking forward to getting involved with that. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So from myself, Mark Kelly, your host, the rest of the 5 Elements Media team, big thanks to editor Lee J behind the cameras today, driving it all. Thank you very much for joining us on the Northern Artist Conversation. We will see you guys real soon.